Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Longest intro ever. Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining us once again here on Talkin Fight for another episode of the Friday Night Panel, featuring yours truly, Mike Horn. Today we're joined by Brooke Dierdorff, maybe Brooke Milbrook now, but let's just call her Brooke for now. See how she gets on with that. Brooke was a pro fighter from 2006 to 2011. Beat one of my favorites, Mia St. John, and quite a few others as well. So anyway, thanks for joining us on the panel.
Thanks for having me.
Feel free to chime in whenever you want. Mike, do you want to start us off with a couple of fights and we'll have some comments?
Oh yeah, let's get it underway, right?
Let's get it underway.
We got to talk about it, man. The big one, Fury Chisora 3. The card's happening.
Do we have to talk about it? Do we have to?
Is that only because you're being a little British hating today?
you know what I read?
Is it because it's two British heavyweights, and that's the reason why? Is that why?
Not just two, but four.
Yeah, I know. I know it is. It is. In what will be a sensational heavyweight doubleheader, guys. Yeah. WBC and lineal world champion Tyson Fury will defend his crown against longstanding rival Derek Chisora at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday, December 3rd, guys. Yes, on a night where the WBA world champion Daniel Dubois will make his first title defense of his belt against Kevin Lerner. This one's exclusively on BT Sports Box Office, guys, and live on ESPN Plus. This one, I can't wait. We're all anticipating Fury getting back in the ring, with this whole, hey, I'm retired every week. Now we get to see it. Fury, who intends on fighting Usyk for the Undisputed Championship in the first part of 2023, will once again perform on UK soil following his April knockout of mandatory challenger Dillian White in front of 94,000 fans. We all remember that one. Promoted by Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions in association with Top Rank, this will be the third meeting between Fury and Chisora. They first met in July of 2011. Wow, holy crow, it's going way back. With the British and Commonwealth titles at stake, and Fury prevailed by unanimous decision. So, yeah, I can't wait for this one to get underway. It's going to be a great fight. Yes, British heavyweights, and I know, Graham. I know, it is what it is, man. It's the heavyweights. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about this?
I think Chisora's in it for the money alone. What do you think, Brooke?
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a good payday before he ends his career.
Yeah,
I think Fury's on top of his game right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's better than ever at this point in his career. So, I don't think there's anybody right now that can actually touch him. But definitely, Chisora's definitely. It's going to be the same thing. He's won one round out of the two fights they had before. So
yeah, he's only won one.
It's just it'll just be something fun for Fury to do.
Yeah, this is a warm up. Fury after his last fight, obviously, enjoyed himself a little too much, and he needs a little warm up before he gets back in that ring and fights Usyk in early next year. So, I think we all know how this one's gonna end. I think it's gonna be quick. I don't think it's gonna drag out into any championship rounds or anything like that. I think this one's gonna be done pretty early.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Then we got Daniel Dubois taking on Kevin Lerner for that WBA World Heavy Strap. I don't know. What do you guys think about this one?
Go ahead, Brooke.
I don't know. I think that's going to be a pretty good matchup. I think it could go. I think it could go either way on my end. Could be 50-50.
I think. Is it Lorena? Is he South African? African?
Yeah, yes, he is. 6'1", southpaw, South Africa. The guy, he's known as the KO kid. He's 28-1, 14 KOs. He's ranked number 1 in South Africa, 24 in the world rankings. He's coming off of a unanimous decision win back in September against Mariusz Watch. Who was 36-8 going into that fight, and that one was for the IBO Intercontinental Heavy title. So this is gonna be a big match, I guess. A little bit of a test for Daniel Dubois,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I haven't seen Dubois in the ring in a while. So this is definitely gonna be like the last time Dubois was in the ring was back in June. So it's nice to see him back, staying at least somewhat busy this year, and getting in another fight before the end of the year. I think this is definitely going to be a test for Dubois, but I like it. I think Dubois is going to be able to finish this one.
Yeah, I think he'll win. Are you going to go through the undercard on that as well? Because there's a guy from the Ukraine who came back from the front lines to fight.
Yes, I believe. What is his name now?
Dennis.
Dennis Birenchak.
Yep.
He's taking on Mendy. That's right.
Yep. The French champion. That's right.
And that one's for the EBU European Light title.
Right.
That one's going to be a great fight. Yes, definitely. This guy, Birenchak, 16-0. This guy means business. He's a great fighter. Definitely, this is a step up for him. Mendy, he's 47-5-1 in his pro career. Also on the undercard, man, we got Royston Barney Smith. Watch out for this kid, man.
Yeah,
up and comer, man. This kid is what you call blue chip prospect. He was looking at the Olympics 2024. He got off that path, waited till his 18th birthday, January 4th, ends up signing with Queensberry Promotions. The kid is now, undefeated. Definitely one to watch, man. And he's opening up the card. So, guys, if you have the chance to watch these prelims on whatever streaming platform you can, make sure you check that one out. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I mean, the big question I had, we have Holly over in London at the Tottenham Spur Arena, and one of the questions I was really hoping she'd be able to ask someone was why there weren't any female fighters on that card.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
happens too often.
It does happen too often.
Well, especially when it comes to Frank Warren or Bob Arum.
Oh yeah, Bob Arum. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like women.
Right.
No, he's old school, man. He's old school. I guess
he could get around with any one of us, and we could show him.
Well, I'll tell you, as Mike and I will both concur, we are huge fans and huge supporters of women in the ring, and hope one day it'll just be called boxing, not men's boxing or women's boxing, but just boxing. And trailblazers like yourself, Brooke. I mean, really. I mean, the fights that you put on that I've seen, it's like must have been exciting back then, and practically unregulated in terms of like the true fighting that was going on. It was good stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you enjoyed it. But anyways, that would have been the question. I would have.
Did you see the Mia fights?
Pardon me?
Did you see the Mia fights?
On YouTube, so on this size screen,
Okay, got you. Yeah, I fought her twice.
Did you?
Yeah, I fought her as a replacement fighter in my fourth pro fight on 4 days' notice. I went up from featherweight to lightweight to fight her as a replacement fighter in Indiana.
In 4 days?
In 4 days. Yeah, it was my Rita Figueroa was a stablemate of mine. She was supposed to be fighting her, but she got injured 4 days out. So I'm like, I'll go up. I'll fight her. I want the recognition. So that was like the start of. After that, I couldn't fight anybody under top ranked 5 after fighting me. But I beat her on a decision there as a replacement fighter. But she wanted the rematch in Mexico, which is when I went over there and won unanimous in Mexico and brought the WBC home. Wow, but yeah, back then it was wars with the girls. I mean, there were so many, like, everybody back then pretty much was like dog fights. Like, it was wars. I wish we'd see that a little bit more in women's fights today. There's just not as much competition as there used to be, I don't think.
What do you think about 3-minute rounds then? Do you think we'd see more wars if they had 3-minute rounds?
Possibly. I think possibly. I think we definitely. I think you actually should see more now with 2-minute rounds than with 3-minute rounds because you have less time. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you should be going hard pretty much the whole time. if you have 3-minute rounds, obviously you're going to want to take your time a little bit more, and you can step back and actually work your game plan a little bit better.
Do you think we'd see more finishes if there was 3-minute rounds?
Possibly. I definitely think you see more finishes if there were 3-minute rounds, because there was lots of fights that I've been in or that I've watched with females where, that last 15, 20 seconds of the round, they get them hurt, but there's just not enough time to finish them.
Right.
So that I think definitely would make a difference for women.
Yeah, we're huge fans. I mean, what turned us around was the outcome. I'm having difficulty who she fought, but Ebony Bridges, when she went up against
Courtney.
and no one took her seriously. Ebony Bridges just thought she was a bikini model, and she came out of that fight like her eye was out to here.
Yeah, that was a war.
That was a war. She didn't tap, and I'll tell you, that fight literally stole a whole weekend. It really showed that women are in this for real.
They are. I'm telling you,
it showed that.
The women, I very rarely do when there's a women fight, a good competitive women's bout on a card. Now that they're showing them, 9 times out of 10 they steal the show, just because the women have so much more action. Where a lot of time the men, they're sticking and moving, and there's a lot of bicycling or moving around, and women are just going pretty much nonstop. So there is just a lot more action and not so much of a lull in the action in the fights.
And there also seems to be, I don't know, more bitter hatred among the women, like real authentic bitter hatred.
I love that there's no ducking. Nobody ducks anybody in women.
No.
It's hey, you want to fight? Yeah. Okay, let's get the thing. Let's get it worked out and get in there. That's what I love. Nobody's trying to duck nobody. Nobody's trying to wait till somebody.
You're going to see the best of the best.
Yeah.
You don't get that in the men very often.
No, it's truly exciting because we're getting to see champions fight champions for the championship.
The best of the best are fighting for that title. Yep. That's the way it should be.
Yes.
All the way across the board.
All right. Which brings us to our next fight.
Oh my God. This one's gonna be huge. Estrada, Chocolito 3. This trilogy clash between Juan Estrada and Roman Gonzalez will take place at Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona on Saturday, December 3rd, guys. This one gets underway 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'm expecting to see a war in this one, man. Estrada 43-3, 28 knockouts. Chocolito 51-3, 41 knockouts. Will finally go toe-to-toe for the 3rd time in their storied careers, with their last meeting in March of 2021. A fight of the year contender that Estrada edged via split decision in Dallas. The victory leveled the score between the pair after Chocolito won their first battle back in November of 2012 in Los Angeles. And now they will lock horns once again for the 3rd mouth-watering battle in the decade, man. This is going to be huge. Also on this card, Martinez, 18-2 with 14 KOs, taking on Ario, who's 21-4 with 16 KOs. Are also renewing their rivalry on December the 3rd after their firefight of a fist contest in November was sadly cut short after an accidental head clash. A cut for Ario. This one ended in chaotic 3-round whirlwind that saw both fighters hit the canvas in the opening session. This one, the anticipation for this one is huge. It being cut short. Brooke, you can definitely chime in on this. When a fight gets cut short like that, you've trained so hard, you're ready to go do battle, and then this accidental headbutt, just causes this cut that just won't stop.
I had one of those happen actually exactly like that in the 4th. I think it was the 3rd or the 4th round. There was an accidental headbutt, and she got a pretty bad gash over the eye. And the fight was stopped when she went back to the corner. They stopped it in between the rounds. Right. That fight was televised on the best damn sports show. It was a fight in California. It was an all-women's card. And I can remember just being so heartbroken because that was like the first time I was televised. Oh. So I was like devastated that the fight got stopped, and then they called it a draw because we hadn't completed the 4 rounds. But I would have stopped her. I think if it had went one more round. I was close to stopping her in that last round, that 3rd round, before they stopped it right before she got the cut. Wow. Yeah, and That's very hard to take, especially when they put it a draw on your record. So then people are like, "Oh, she had a draw with something." No,
Yeah,
it wasn't. It
you
was
know,
stopped.
that draw's gonna suck because in certain situations you can't help it.
No.
It's just how it goes. When you're getting in there and you're digging on the inside, and you got that head movement going, all it takes is that timing of you guys moving your head at the
Yep.
same direction at the same
It
time.
happens a lot.
It does happen a lot, and with the head being so not full of fat and just
Yeah.
real thin skin on bone, it just takes that little bang,
Just
and
one
it
little.
just opens right up. Do you find as a woman, when you pull your hair back real tight, do you find that also can contribute to the way that the gash just opens up?
It might. I always got my hair in cornrows for fights just because, all the baby hairs and everything. You don't want any of that in your face.
No.
And I know a lot of girls I fought that didn't tie their hair back, and it was just all over their face. And I'm just like, no, I need to be able to see what's going on. And you usually get it braided real close to the fight, like a day or two before.
Right.
And that's when it's so tight. And
Yeah.
sometimes, it make me look Chinese. You'd be like, yeah, I can't really see. Like, what's happening to my face?
Right.
But yeah, so it might, because it's, everything is so tight and pulled back at that it's already like reached its limit. So yeah, it definitely might play a role in getting cut easier.
Right.
I've definitely had a few cuts.
Oh, I bet. In some of the wars that you've been in, yes, you've had some cuts.
I've been cut a couple times. Yeah. I think I've had my nose broken more than I can even count, though.
Now it's just like it's all.
Yeah, no, it's got a little crick in it. It's
got a little tiny crick. Okay.
It's cool. You can't really tell because of the lighting. So
it's called character.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's character. They're always like, "What happened to your nose?" Oh, don't worry about it. It's
Actually, couldn't you make up a great story about when you're in the Army?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess I could do that.
And it wasn't accidentally broken in the ring. No.
No. We were out in training, getting ready for deployment.
Yeah. That's how it'll go in the memoirs, right?
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
We were jumping on the fields and climbing out of helicopters and anyway.
Jumping that wall over there, trying to get to safety. Fun
stuff. All right. One of the things that Mike and I were talking about just before we came on the air here was the fact that Chocolatito fight is being promoted quite heavily, I might add, by Eddie Hearn over at Matchroom. He flew into Phoenix specifically to hold a press conference and let the American audience know how important this fight was, which flies in the face of Bob Arum and Frank Warren over there in England, promoting the heck out of the Fury and Chisora fight. I thought it was funny, to see the behind the scenes wars going on as well. But anyway, I digress. Is there another fight there for us, Mike?
The undercard, man. I want to talk about this a bit.
I know Taz is.
Yes, Carissa Brown. Taz is on this card, taking on Beatrice Ferreira. This is, I think this should be a walk in the park for Carissa Brown. She's 7-2 going into this one. She's really found a rhythm in her career at this point in her life. Beatrice Ferreira, this is her second fight. It's a pretty hard one. So, they must be really back in and getting behind their girl here because, to put her in against a girl like Taz, the nickname says it all. A whirlwind of destruction.
She is. I had the pleasure of meeting Taz at the inductions. She came down to the inductions in October in Vegas to meet all of the inductees and just kind of be in the atmosphere. So I had the pleasure of actually meeting her. We hung out all weekend. She's a great. She has a great soul. She's a great person. I was excited to see that she got this fight a couple days ago, like a week ago maybe. She came in. So yeah, I've been talking to her, back and forth and watching her with Ramsey and all them. But yeah, I think that's a walk in the park for her, I think. Yeah,
I believe so. I think this one should be a quick one, quick finish. She does like to finish her people. So, she ain't in there to play boxing. She ain't in there to do overtime. She's in there to, kick ass, take
Get him
names.
into that.
And that's what I like about her.
She's not leaving it in the hands of the judges.
No.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Also in action, Mark Castro. Can't wait to see this guy back in the ring. Mark Castro, this kid, wow, 8-0, already making big names for himself, man. You know, he's ranked 26 out of 187 in that super feather division. You know, he's world ranked 132 right now. The kid's only 23 out of Fresno, California, sporting that 8-0, 6 KOs. He's coming off that wicked September 17th Kevin Montiel Mendoza 5th round. So can't wait to see him jumping in here, man.
I got to do it right.
Tim, what's going on, champ?
Oh, sorry. How you doing? Hey, how's everything?
Everything's great.
She said I'm a bruiser. See, my daughter said I'm a bruiser. I know you have to do that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Also, Diego Pacheco. Wow, want to see this kid back in there taking on Ricardo Adrian Luna, and this one's for the WBC United States Super Middle. You know, I can't wait to see this kid get in here, man. This kid, I've been profiling and following him for a while. You know, his career started 2019. He's 21 years old. This kid, he's 6'4", 79-inch reach in that super middle division. Wow. 16-0, 13 knockouts. You know, this kid,
that's nice.
He's been flying under the radar. Not a lot of people are in tune to what this kid's doing, so he's squeaking by. But you know, he's now ranked 50th out of 1,400 in that super middle division in the world, and he's moved up. He's 2 away from that top 10 in the United States. You know, and I think after this fight against Ricardo Luna, he should come through with that WBC United States strap after this fight this weekend. Can't wait to see this kid get in there, man. Definitely an exciting guy to watch. And, you know, at 21, this guy's got a long career ahead of him. So we're going to be seeing lots of this kid. And I think after this weekend, people will really start to step up and know this kid's name. Yeah, watch this kid, man. Diego Pacheco. It's great, man. This kid's awesome. And Joselito Velasquez is on this card, taking on Christopher Rosales. This is a step-up fight for this kid for sure, man. He's 15-0-1, taking on Rosales, the veteran in the game. You know, we got 39th ranked versus 13th. Rosales is sporting a record 34-6. So, you know, there's some great undercard action here. Guys, I always tell you out there who are watching us, watch the undercards, man. This is the future of boxing. These are the guys that are going to be headlining these cards in the future. You know, I love it. I've been following some of these kids for a long time, and it's nice to see that some of these guys are now starting to not only be in that televised portion, but they are starting to be big parts of those televised events. So, yes, we got a lot of great action underway this weekend. Do you want to talk about the card that already went on today?
No, hang on. Before we get going here, I just wanted to introduce Brooke to Tim and
yes.
Tim to Brooke.
How you doing, Tim?
How you doing?
Once a pro boxer, always a pro boxer. So here we have 2 pro boxers.
She's knockout artist.
Well, I see your belt in the background.
But
she's a knockout artist.
I can bring mine in too.
hey,
Yeah, oh, there we go. We're going to have a belt off.
No, what's your full name?
Brooke Dierdorff when I was fighting.
Oh, okay.
So
WBC.
there you go, boxing fans.
There we go.
Yeah, I got
Hall of Fame. That's great.
Up in the front.
Nice. 2022.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. Hey, so Tim, did you ever?
International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame. I got inducted in October.
Okay, cool.
Congratulations.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And she's just down the road from you.
Oh, where are you?
In Salem. You in Bucks County?
I'm close to Nashville now.
Nashville.
Close to Nashville, about 30 minutes from Nashville.
Oh, she down south, Graham.
Well, I know.
Are you in Illinois?
So no, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
He thought, which is he
Philly in the house.
Down the road.
Just down the road. Come on.
Just up the road. Not too far.
I was in
I used to be in Illinois. That was farther.
Yeah, I was in Tennessee.
Just down the road. It ain't Canada.
Not good.
Everything's just down the road in Canada, right?
Right, just up the road.
Yeah, just up the road. Just up the road. Now in the States, it's the next state over.
She far away, Graham.
Yeah, that's a little bit far.
So we'll send in the private jet. Have you guys hook up? All right. Okay, now. Oh yeah, the fight that took place today was interesting because Troy Williamson said he was going to knock that guy's block off, and what happened, Mike?
Well, Josh Kelly is our winner.
Josh Kelly did it, eh?
Yeah, Josh Kelly did it. This one, definitely unanimous decision, 12 rounds. Scorecard, 111, 119, 110, 118, 109, 119. Wow. So
did they have a big beef before the fight?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did one guy had his shirt off and he pushed the other guy and stuff like that?
Honestly, is it just me, or has COVID made these weigh-ins and press conferences crazy? Like ever since COVID, like it's like they can't hold back, and it's like the minute they're like this nose to nose, it's like they gotta kick each other's ass. It's nuts. It's nuts. Like even the MMA weigh-ins are getting the same way. Like I watched one the other day, and the guy literally like flew across the street and gave the guy a drop kick.
They must have just put out a memo, like after the first one did it, like after the first time it happened, they're like, hey, like sent out an email, like that was cool. That was like we got a good reaction. We should all do that.
Like I'm telling you, 2022 has been the year of these crazy weigh-ins and press conferences. Like literally, guys getting smacked the crap out of it. It's hilarious, man.
I seen some of that. My head is cloudy, but I seen some of that yesterday, like when I was going through the internet and stuff.
Oh,
when when they like, I think it was when they have the little like the quick movies like on Facebook and stuff, TikTok and stuff. I saw that yesterday. They're getting in their face and stuff like that. Getting each other face, when they in the fight. Yeah. I saw that yesterday. A lot of it.
That's funny. Brooke, I was talking about Caleb Plant today, and I see one of our fans, Chris Dyer, chimes in. He says after the Canelo Plant fight, it's open season for brawls at press conferences.
Yeah, that's. I was just about to say that one. Canelo Plant, that kicked it off, man, and that just made people just start going nuts. Yeah. I think it's because really we saw Mr. Calm, Cool, and Collective Canelo like literally lose his shit. He was seriously mad. He was so mad that he couldn't control himself, and he just burst out. But yeah, then ever since then it's been getting nuts, man. Like guys throwing down.
Did you see the weigh-in with Fury and Chisora? I couldn't believe how tall Fury is compared to Chisora. Like he's looking down like this.
Was that yesterday? That was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the weigh-in?
Yeah.
Today.
The weigh-in was
today. And our friend Holly Donovan was there to catch up with everything that was going on. So all the fans out there watching, you can check that out on the channel. Joe Joyce, she had a nice little interview there with Joe Joyce.
Fantastic interview.
I didn't understand how small Holly was until I saw her standing next to the Juggernaut.
What, and holding her microphone up?
Like she had to do the whole interview from her tippy toes.
Actually, I think she said she was wearing high heels too. So
the funniest was Joe Joyce being like, "Whoa, you're small. Can I pick you up?"
You think Tyson Fury is going to fight him eventually?
He is the most avoided heavyweight in the game right now. He's one of those guys. He's climbing those ranks. I know. The guys think this guy's going to age out, but what they don't understand, this guy has been playing rugby since he was 6 years old. There's a reason why I call him the Juggernaut. He's one of those guys that's ageless.
He's rough.
He's rough. He's tough.
He's so big.
He's a monster, and he's got a gas tank like the small guys. He can go 12 rounds and not even break a sweat. His Parker fight, we saw him take the best of Parker shots. World-class man here. Didn't phase him. He walked through it. Like the guy's got a chin of granite, and I think people are afraid to really, really want to take him on because right at this point, it's all reward for Joe Joyce, man. It's high risk, low reward for these guys that are carrying these straps. But
now go fight Tyson or what's Baby? Him and
Big
Baby,
Anderson.
him and Baby would be a good fight, right?
No, that'd be a great fight.
Pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's gonna happen, man. Also, you know what I want to see? I want to see Big Baby and Richard Torres. That's what I'd like to see.
Okay.
Richard Torres is making a name for himself in the United States right now in that heavyweight division, man. He's just
the big guy.
Yeah, he's
the big guy.
You know, he's coming out. He's got that dirty Sanchez mustache. Rocking that 70s porn look. And
How tall is he?
Oh, I believe he's like 6'4". 6'4".
Oh,
6'5".
that's somebody else.
Sorry, what about this other chap, Bakodir Jalolov?
Oh,
12-0, 12 knockouts. I think
Kazakhstanian.
Hey?
Yeah, man. This guy's
big boy.
Jalolov. Yeah, man.
He's huge. 12 knockouts, 12 wins, and
yeah.
And I think the reason he knocked out his last guy is because
he's from Uzbekistan, not Kazakhstan. Sorry, people all out there. You know, I don't want to. Your stand is your stand, so we gotta make sure we didn't mix it up. But yeah, no, this guy's a beast, man. Like we've been watching this kid for a while, since this kid turned pro. He's 6'7", man, and he's a monster. We've talked about this kid. He's only 28. This kid was like, "Hey, man, I'm going to show you guys what like the Uzbek style is about." And he's been knocking guys out. His last six fights are all stoppages. The guy's he stopped everybody. His last six, six have been inside. Like he's gone deep. He's been deep into the 8th and still finished. So,
well, here's what he said about his last fight. He said something. I'm going to paraphrase because I just read it this morning on the news show, and I thought it was funny because it stuck with me because you guys were talking about headbutts. So anyway, he says, him and his trainer had this plan going into the fight. They're going to take it to the 8 rounds, and then knock him out. But instead, he got headbutted. He got all mad. He goes, then I knocked him out in the 4th round.
Hurt.
Yeah, man. That fight was Curtis Harper, man. That one was his first 10-rounder, and he only took it 4. And Harper was down around 3 and 4. So, this kid is definitely one that's climbing up these ranks real fast, man. And he's sitting at 45th ranked in the world. He's one of these guys that if you don't pay attention, he's just going to be one of those guys that's just going to be all of a sudden in your face.
I'm missing all this action.
You still want this action at your age, Tim? You still want this action?
No. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. You know about all the fights and stuff. I'll be trying to get there. I can't. It's gonna take some time.
All right. Well, here's some education for you. Then there's another heavyweight on the undercard of the Terrence Crawford fight. What's his name? Jeremiah Milton. Is that his name?
Okay.
Yep. Yo.
You know him, Mike?
Yeah, man.
I think what's
tough?
his
He's tough.
No, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, 7-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big, huge boy. So once again, I mean, for all the UK fans listening out there are a lot of big bruising American heavyweights out there right now looking to take on those British fighters.
And not just that. Yeah, and not just them, man. Like, you got the Kazakhs, the Uzbekis, they're coming they're coming out of the woodworks, man.
And the occasional Ukrainian.
Yeah, and the occasional Ukrainian. But yeah, Jeremiah Milton, the kid's 7-0. He's taking on DeJuan Calloway. This is not a challenge for Jeremiah Milton. This fight is literally like a showcasing. This is going to be like, hey, you've now graduated to opening fight, say, on the card. You got a guy who's ranked 138th world taking on a guy who's ranked 328th. This is just going to be a showcasing for Jeremiah Milton. 7-0, 6 KOs, 6'4". Kid's 6'4" with an 80-inch reach.
Wow.
Yeah. And he brought it. His last fight, man, was against Quinton Sumter. Quinton Sumter was no joke coming up either, man. I've talked about Sumter before. Unfortunately, you know, this kid brought it to Sumter, TKO 5th round. It was you know, Jeremiah Milton. Watch out for this kid. He can really throw down. He doesn't have the cleanest style you'll see, but you know, when you got hands like that, you really don't need to be that clean, man. You got to be clean if you want to talk when you're done your career, but you know.
True that.
But yeah, no, there's some big boys coming up, man. And this heavyweight division.
Every show you stand is somebody big. Oh, this guy, the next one. It's one like close to 6'10", right?
There's guys. Oh my God, there's guys out there that are 6'9" that are coming through.
Yeah,
same height as Fury, man. So you know when Fury's ready to hang him up, we have another 7 foot tall guy to just fall right in there, man. But yeah, there's no shortage of what I'm gonna call the super heavyweights, because you know you got these guys that are all sitting around 6'3" to 6'5", and then there's a huge jump, and all these guys are 6'9".
I used to like to fight the tall ones. I'm not.
Yeah, because you like to get on that inside and destroy that body. That's why.
No, I just looped this over.
Oh, the
big hand that be right there.
But
you have to be in real good shape these days. These guys, and they in real good shape back then. We got in shape, but they got all kind of instruments to get you there. You know, all kind. Oh, she's shaking her head. Yeah, she must have had some of that treatment to get in shape. When did you retire?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't have all the extra.
Did you retire?
2011.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's been a minute for me too. Did any of you guys catch the Hallback drilling fight yesterday? Chevelle Hallback and Tanya Drilling.
No, please. Oh, I'm gonna close my ears so I don't hear the outcome because I have it taped. I'm just gonna watch it after. So talk about it, and I'll just.
I don't want to spoil it for you. I was not happy.
You know what? You can tell me because I'm gonna go and watch it anyway because I'm that diehard. Like I'm that diehard fan. I'm gonna watch it no matter what because I got a report on it.
Well, okay, so Chevelle I'm really close with Chevelle. We're personal friends. I met her in California. I was telling you when we fought on the Best Damn Sports Show. When I went over to fight Mia St. John, my husband, Chris, my trainer, he couldn't go. Prior obligations. So Chevelle came with Nate Campbell. They flew over there to corner me and to stay out there with me and help me training. But she fought Tanya Drilling last night, 4-3, I think was what she was before. But it was a 6-round fight. Okay. I could have, on a whim, gave Drilling possibly round 1 because it was a feeling out round. Nobody really did anything. So you could have gave her that round just on whatever. The second round, she picked up the pace. She was landing on Chevelle a little bit early on in the round. Chevelle came back strong at the end of the second. You could have gave her that round. Okay. From that round on, 3 through 6 was Chevelle all the way. I mean, she was moving, she was landing and not getting hit. You know how Chevelle is.
Yeah.
I mean, she fights like Roy Floyd, like I'll mix them all together. You can't hit her. And she was doing that. And she was hitting and not getting hit from 3 through 6. They gave the fight to Drilling on a split decision.
What?
They gave one of the judges had 60, gave her all 6 rounds, and one of the other judges, the other judge for her, gave her 5 of the 6 rounds.
Oh my God!
I'm talking about highway robbery, and I've been there before. I know how it feels, and I immediately texted her. But I even put a post all over social media. I was so upset about that fight because she got robbed. Big time. Even the commentators were like going off, like they should have had the score flipped, and it took them forever to read the scorecards, like forever. And they kept going back and looking at them, and I'm like, I don't know. I think maybe they had the scorecards mixed up or something. But
now
yeah,
I'm looking at you. I've seen you fight. Seen you fight.
You've seen me fight?
Yeah. See, now I'm looking at you. I'm starting to remember. I put my glasses
on. You're looking me up.
Yeah. Go ahead and finish. Go ahead. I was looking I've seen her before. Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post all my fights on YouTube shortly here, so people can see them. Back when I fought, I didn't. Anytime somebody would post one of my fights online, I would message them and say it's copyright. Take it down. It's me. I don't want it on there because I didn't want people to study me.
Right.
So I didn't want people to post.
You're doing YouTube. You're doing YouTube too.
Yeah. So I'm just now getting into putting stuff on YouTube. So I upload all my fights because I don't know, you guys, I'm sure watched my interview
Okay, I'm gonna look for you.
with the Stafford Boxing.
Yep.
I'm gonna post them so
I'm
that
on there
people can
too.
let me know what they really think. But I don't think I lost any of my fights.
Okay, I'm on YouTube. We'll get in touch.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
But
you know,
yeah, I
I
was
watched
really upset with the
your
fight.
video.
So
You're
Well,
upset with that
I'm
fight,
gonna go back and see that, man. I like Chevelle.
you gotta watch it. It was ridiculous.
You know what? I'm thinking because it was about it's over a year.
Oh no!
You know what? You know what?
I
I have been waiting 101 episodes for that damn sign to fall and finally take him out. And it was today that it happened. Wow.
I guess it was. I made it fall down.
Yeah. I was wondering when that thing was gonna plop back, man.
It was loose anyway. It was. I'm gonna put some glue up there, and you know, even with these things. What it is my daughter's online school. It's my daughter's online school.
Support education.
Yeah, that's what it is. And this is where she does most of her work. And this is her computer and stuff. They give you a computer and they give you $400. Ain't that something?
That's great, actually.
If you got children, if you got 3 children, you probably get like 1,300. Yeah, they give you money, they give you a computer, a printer, and you got to get up. It's a really good school.
That's
But I think she'd have to go to regular school because she got to be around children and everything. But that's a good program we've been in for a while, and it's been really good. I've been even trying to steal some of the knowledge. I've been sitting next to her with a pencil trying to get some of the stuff down because I learned some stuff, but I be like, oh God, we didn't know this stuff. But when they get to the math, it's complicated. I just back off. When they get to the math, they doing some crazy stuff. I did algebra before and all that other stuff. But then the guy said, well, I never did that before. Okay, you got that.
I wouldn't thank you for the mathematician there, Tim.
I'll be reading books. That helps too, because I've been forgetting too.
Use mathematics to knock out all his opponents. Use that mathematics to time out all those knockouts, eh?
Yeah.
I've been training this kid too, this Italian kid. His name is Tim. I've been training him and getting him in shape. So I'll be in the 230s in the next 2 days. I'm like 240. I was 243 yesterday. I didn't go to the gym today. I'm gonna be in the 30s, and I'm gonna announce I'm coming out of retirement.
Hey, I've thought about it. It's crossed my mind.
That's like Tyson Fury.
I've definitely thought about it. Yeah. Back when you were training, did you ever have any fights where you didn't really train for, but yet you still came out on top?
A lot of them.
Yeah,
a lot of them. You know, it got in shape. I made sure I chopped wood, even though if I didn't do the rituals that we usually do. I do make sure I chop a lot of wood. Say like if I don't do a lot of training, that wood will keep you there. Your legs might not be 100%. You have to run, but if you keep doing that, all this you could take care of from your waist up. Your legs would be a little stiff and everything. I've done that a lot, but I wasn't motivated a lot because he was taking our money and and the conditions wasn't all that good. Oh, he did give us. We had money and had sparring partners, but that was it. That was it, and it was kind of rough. And then after the fight, you see, you really got ripped off. So a lot of fights that I fought, I was in really good shape. I got ready for like Larry Holmes and Greg Page, and I got ready for Tony Tubbs. But there's a lot of fights that I get in shape for, and I still won. And then I was in some fights too. I'm sorry, I was in some fights too, and I just said the hell with it, like Bone Crusher, the second fight. I threw that fight. People don't believe it. Watch the first Bone Crusher and watch the second one. I know I wasn't going to get paid and everything, so I said the hell with it. And then he went at Tyson. And I went through it before, talked about it. He went at Tyson, so he didn't care about me or Bone Crusher. I'm not going 12 round with that hard hitter, and I wasn't. Yo, Bone Crusher the punch.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's a heavy hitter.
So Watch the first fight. I just walked right through him. And the second fight, some people say, "Nah, he beat you up and all that, right?"
In the second fight, you were already spending the money after the second round, in your head.
Well, I just was happy it was over. I was happy
Yeah,
it was over,
yeah.
and I was getting ready. I had lawyers and everything ready to, like, the next week to go attack the promoter and everything. But Bone, he didn't want me. He didn't care about me or Bone Crusher. He was trying to get Tyson at that point.
Right.
So that's why I said, man, I know I'm probably getting how much I'm gonna get, And then I told the everybody in the corner, said, "Yo, I'm going down. I ain't getting hurt." Because Bone Crusher could punch. They told me that the fight was off like 10 days before, so I took off. And then they're gonna call me back and say the fight is back on. And I said I wasn't fighting. Then we was arguing back and forth. And I said, okay, I want to get away from him. So I took the fight. I know I couldn't beat him. I wasn't in shape, So, and he was training for a big fight. He was in a big fight. And I knew it. So I said, yo, that's it. I'm out of here. Then we left. That was the most happiest time in my life. Not one of them. I left Don King and stuff. It's over, though.
So one of the questions we have from
is Holyfield.
Yeah,
Tim Witherspoon versus Evander Holyfield would have been a great fight, but it didn't happen.
But real quick, I'm gonna keep this short. He was strong. He was strong, and he overpowered you with his strength. I think he lacked a lot of skills, but he did. He was just in good shape, and he kept coming at you. But he didn't. His management didn't take the fight with me because he had that problem. He had a problem with his breathing and everything. And it made me look good. They turned me down. The fighter fight me, but the management
didn't want it.
Yeah. So me and him had a scheduled fight, but they backed out of it because they said he had something wrong with his heart at that time. So I felt good about that. Oh, Holyfield and them turned me down. That's all. You got to be in shape. The young guy was in good shape and everything. So if that had been another fight of my life, I would have to really get in good shape and fight him. Outbox him and just don't get hit because he could punch.
Yeah, definitely could punch.
So that's some of the trials and tribulations we had to go through.
What
else?
His son's doing well though.
Okay, I gotta see him fight.
Evan Holyfield? Yeah, Evan.
Yeah, I gotta see him. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's all right. Young Holy, he's doing well. He did suffer a loss there.
Okay.
Pretty recently, yeah.
Yeah, pretty recently. He went to bed on that one. That was his last. That was his last one out. Jermaine McDonald, who was 6-5. This one was back in May. This was May 14th.
That's who beat him.
Yeah, Jermaine McDonald beat him with KO'd him in the second round.
Vander's son.
Yeah, Vander's son. That was suffered his first loss. He has not fought since then. Right up to that, he was 9-0 with 6 KOs going into that fight, and then Jermaine McDonald just had his number that night.
Was he strong like Evander?
They fight differently. That's for sure.
He don't fight aggressive.
He is strong. Like he's 25. He's 6'2", 74.5-inch reach. He's a 60% KO rating. Out of 9, he's finishing 2/3 of his guys. He's only been the distance 3 times. Oh, except for getting knocked out. But he definitely has the skills to pay the bills, as Miss Natalie Brown would say.
That's right.
Wait. So somebody said he has the skills?
Yeah, he's got skills, man.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched him. He definitely has skills, man. He definitely has skills. He's got power too. Like, he's finishing guys, and it's for some of these guys, man. It's all about that old man strength. We all talk about it. It's a real thing. These young guys, in their early 20s, it takes time to develop that real man power, and to be 25 and to be 25 and knocking people out, 60% of the time, you gotta have some strength, man. You gotta be strong.
So I was throwing the straight right hand. I was told y'all before, and my trainer had me throwing the overhand. That's how it was developed. So I wasn't mature. So my straight right was weak, and he made me whoop it over. Go ahead, Graham.
Oh, I was just gonna ask Mike if he could pronounce that name. Ike Ibiabuchi.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
boy. He was tough. Did he go to jail or something?
I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah, Ike Alabucci for I ain't gonna say it because see I'm getting old. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'll match you on that one.
Yeah, he was a big boy. He competed from 94 to 99, man. All through my high school career. You know, I graduated in 1999, so you know.
I graduated in 99.
I did see that in your bio. Yes, we are the same age.
Baby, okay, you're a baby, okay.
99. Where was I in 99? Can you remember where you were in 99, Tim?
Whoa, I probably
90,
was overseas.
I was on my way to China in 1999.
Yeah, I was overseas. I was over in Europe, probably. Yeah. Because Shania is 12, and she was born in 02.
Yeah, Riddick Bowe.
Yeah. So that's when I was going over to England all the time.
So Ike is out of jail and living in Nigeria, but is still obsessed. Yeah. He's still obsessed with fulfilling his dream of becoming the heavyweight champion of the world.
He's going to fight.
They're saying
how old is he?
He's 49, man.
Oh, I think he. Listen, I think he can give it a try. I think 49. I think he can give it a try. He was strong.
Are we talking Foreman comeback too?
He could punch though. Iabuchi, right? Yeah, I've seen him fight. He could punch.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's naturally a big boy.
And some of these young guys, like we talk on the show all the time, that the skills that they lack in skills. We talked about Roy Jones getting a job with Tyson, and Roy Jones is a mover. They're making another mistake. I love them brothers. You didn't hear about it?
No, not yet.
Yeah, it was in the magazine or something that they're gonna get Roy Jones. Now watch Roy Jones fight, and he moves all the time, you know, and his defense is moving, you know. And real quick, Anthony Joshua needs somebody. He needs something like this. I say it all the time: tight, block defense, slipping, right, hard punches inside. When they fire, defense, counter back. When you're on the outside, jab his way in, get his shot that's open, jab, get your shot, get in close, tight defense. That's all he needs. He don't need to move around fancy stuff. You got a lot of trainers out there teaching the kids all the fancy stuff first. You gotta work on the basics first. Put your feet down, get your jab, block jab, slip here, not on the fancy stuff. Once you get the basics, you will learn the fancy stuff will automatically come in, just like you go to school. That's just my opinion. Learn the basics. But everybody, a lot of boxers, they look. Anthony Joshua can't even block punches. That's the first thing they should teach you when you trying to, you know, get in the boxing.
You're not supposed to use your face to block punches. You're not supposed to use your face to block the punches.
Okay,
some of these guys out there are doing that.
And you married your trainer?
I'm glad you called.
Oh Lord, I
didn't know it was that late.
I'm not a defensive fighter.
I'm sorry for taking up all the time.
What do you mean? This is the Friday Night Boxing Panel with Tim Witherspoon and friends. That's the title. What do you mean taking up all the time? You're supposed to be taking up time.
They asked me to come on 20 minutes ago. What are you talking about?
Uh-oh. Hey, that's nice.
Because you're our friend.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I use my face a lot. Take one or two to get that good one.
You had a good defense. You mean to tell me you did
that one or two.
I did not have defense.
You used that philosophy.
My offense was my defense.
See now,
I put so much offense on, they couldn't give me any offense.
Don't say that around people that know a lot about that. Now you said your best offense was the defense. Was you taught that?
That was my offense because I gave so much offense. How are you going to hit me back? I don't stop punching.
See,
volume puncher.
Volume.
But don't you want to be able to teach your boxer both? It just can't.
Well, yes.
Instead of just
I don't know. I
he gotta relax. He gotta relax, huh? He's gotta relax and settle down and depend on that stamina.
Yeah,
so the good skills will help.
Moving the good skills. I I could do all that, but see, the problem was when I would focus so much on my defense, I wouldn't get hit at all. But then I wasn't throwing my punches because I was so focused on defense, like slip, move, don't get hit, and then I wasn't punching.
Everybody can throw a punch. A baby can throw a punch, but a baby can't block defense. Teach defense first. Offense is just going to come right down. A baby can throw punches, but a baby ain't going to be able to block. So, yeah. Now, so teach defense because offense is going to be easy. It's just your stamina.
Yeah. I can do defense. My offense.
You should be saying. I know both of them.
I do know both.
She does.
I can do both.
Okay.
I can do both.
We had a great question come in. Can the heavyweight boxing be popular like NFL and NBA or baseball in America if it was pushed properly? Yes. And when they push it is when we'll actually start seeing the Americans start to take over the top end. That is
we had it was either Rick Glazer.
Yeah.
I think it was Rick Glazer who said, if you were to put boxing back onto traditional broadcast television, like Friday night fights or Saturday night,
HBO boxing, like all those things.
If they were to bring that back, it would be as popular. The minute that they dropped it, if you will, and brought in pay-per-view, that's when you see the drop in the ratings, quite frankly. Yes, the pay-per-view companies make an awful lot of money, but in terms of numbers,
a lot of people don't pay.
Yeah.
So, I'll tell you, I watch fights every weekend, and I don't pay.
Yes, you do.
yes, I do. Wink, wink.
I just HBO boxing. No, I do.
Definitely. It was a good. It was a good
answer
program.
Adri's question. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
But I think, and we do have quite a young core of aggressive independent promoters now pushing up, and I certainly think women in the ring are going to be part of the increase in popularity of boxing, professional boxing. I noticed that the IBA announced very recently an integration of the the amateur and the professional. So they're taking headgear off the amateur boxers, providing purses for amateurs. So to make it worthwhile to grow that undercrop, if you will, of necessary young fighters that can move up the ranks and be paid accordingly and be trained accordingly and have the right nutritionists support, that kind of thing, as opposed to days gone by when you're virtually on your own. And I'm sure Brooke could back me up. I'm sure Tim could back me up on that too. The sport's changing.
What's about the headgear?
So the IBA used to be the AIBA, I forget what it's called, but the International Boxing Association, and they basically are responsible for getting all the countries together, if you will, to provide the fighters for the Olympics. But they've since been, they've run into trouble because their major major sponsor was Gazprom, which is the Russian oil company.
Okay.
So because of that little detail, they've had to do, what do they call it? A pivot. So they've made some introductions, significant introductions, taken headgear, I believe introduced 3-minute rounds for female boxing as well. So they're trying to make some changes to bring the amateur level up to par with the professional level and bring in some pretty big purses as well. So they have some big invitational. Oh, they've also created an actual an international boxing tournament. You'll have to Google this one because this is fresh news. Where you enter a championship fight. If you win, you get points. You move up the rankings, and so ultimately,
What is it?
Type in IBA. Pro series.
Governing body drops headgear for male amateur boxers, but makes female fighters wear them.
I got it. IBA Pro Series. Okay.
And is that what it's called, Mike? Pro Series?
Yes. Pro Series.
So that was just announced this week, and I think that's a huge step forward because for so long you had amateur fighters purely training for the Olympics, fighting in the Olympics, and occasionally sidestepping the Olympics, like Mike was talking about earlier. where if you think you're good enough and you can't fight, but you have to be able to make that paycheck. And the paycheck isn't just to cover your own housing expenses, but you've got your own, as we've said earlier, the trainers, the management staff, the agents, let alone the nutritionists and the therapists that all come into this. And as several heavyweight fighters in the United Kingdom would attest, you need a lot of mental help as well.
Well, hey, Anthony Joshua is finally seeking some of that.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know?
So,
They said I saw that the other day. Wow.
You know, he's come clean. He said that he's been battling some mental health issues, and you know what? You can tell. You can tell he's not the same guy he was, 2.5, 3 years ago. Definitely, he's being not able to be in the gym, not training, being isolated. A lot of people around the world are suffering from mental health, and honestly, it goes to show you that not just anybody out there, even guys who are in the ring who are fighting for for a sport are suffering these same kind of issues that everyday people are. And but shout out to him, man. Good for you for doing what you need to do and getting the help that you need, man, to talk out whatever demons are going on in your head. Hopefully we get to see him recover and battle those things with the right kind of help, and get to see him shine again, because honestly, for a kid that young who's been so highly decorated in boxing, and to fall as hard as he has from the pedestal that he was once on because of mental health issues, man, it's saddening. It's very sad.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're running out of time, but I wanted to address that last comment with respect, because we have addressed this before in our 100 and so episodes, and that is whether or not a Grand Prix style of boxing, if you will, showdown contender tournament would make sense, like over the year. And I think that's what the IBA is talking about, providing a Grand Prix style of series where you accrue points over the year, and at the end of the year, the boxer with the most points wins the Grand Prix.
Right.
I think the issue is going to come from the shall we say the alphabet variety of belt holders, the WBC, the WBA, the IBO, the IB, you name it.
Anything to help. Anything new. Put some gravy on there.
if it's going to put money into the boxer's hands, I'm all for it. And get keeping in mind the health and safety that's necessary as well. So there's a lot of professionalism that surrounds the sport of boxing these days that I don't think was really there. I'm not going to say in your day, Tim, because that would make you sound old, but but a few decades ago, there were guys who were susceptible to, and not that they're not today, but susceptible to brain injury because they were told to fight, they had to fight, or else they weren't going to make that $2. And and quite frankly, Lou Eisen, who does a show on the history of boxing and the very controversies that have happened over the years. I mean, he speaks about it every single week, what fighters over the past 100 years have had to put up with in terms of bad management, forcing careers to go the wrong direction, to put it mildly. So I'm glad that there are people out there like the IBA who are making changes, and who are making changes on behalf of boxers and therefore their teams. And I think it's a team sport. It's not just I don't know. I've never entered a ring. I can't really say that, but I believe it's a team sport.
It's a team sport till that bell rings, and then you're in there on your own, man. That's what it is. Yeah. You have people to support you after you've just done battle for 2 to 3 minutes, who are there to fan you, cool you off, fix you up, and get you ready to get back in there and do battle by yourself. But
the communication is still
communication is key, very key.
When you're in the ring, and the corner's there, it's still that bond. You are by yourself,
yes,
but you still got that connection. You going to war.
Yeah.
Well,
shout out to Miss Natalie Too Bad Brown, who's in the audience watching today. And she said, she said, nah, the Grand Prix will never happen. Yeah. She's saying, nah, too many politics.
Too much politics. Yeah.
And
you know what? Of all the professionals we've had come on the show, that's exactly what they've said too.
Yeah.
So it's not a stretch. But all I'm saying is it was a fresh announcement this week, And I give kudos to the IBA for making those changes, putting some money on the shelves for boxers to reach and grab, and let's see if it works.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Definitely.
right.
Well,
any last words, Brooke, before we close out the show?
I mean, I appreciate you guys having me. I know it was short notice, but it was nice talking to you all. Hopefully we'll do it again one day.
definitely.
That
Well,
was
we are
cool, though.
we are just down the road from you, so
Just down the road.
we'll see we'll see you again shortly.
Sounds good.
I know what that means. They said down the road, like that's like a southern or midwestern thing, right?
Yeah, and
You know
Canadian
what I'm
thing
saying?
too.
Down the road.
No,
We
sorry.
in
Canada.
Canada, we just up the street.
Oh, you serious? No, that's in Philly too. We just right up here.
No, I think we're across the river.
We're
But,
only a
anyway,
phone call away.
That's right.
anyways, so it's
Hope
good to
to
have
see
you on
you
the
on
show.
the show
Appreciate
again.
it.
Yeah,
Hope to see you on
definitely.
the show again.
Well,
Yes, hopefully.
yes, honestly, it was an honor
Thanks,
and pleasure to
Natalie.
meet you, Brooke. It was great. To all the Talkin' Fight fans out there, man, thanks for tuning into this week's episode of the Friday Night Panel with yours truly, Mike Orr, Tim Witherspoon, Grant Boyce, and our special guest today, Brooke. Thank you for coming. To all the fans that drop comments, Eddie and Vince and Adiri and Natalie.
We're
You know what it is, guys. You know what it is. Thank you. Bon Kiki, much love. We will see you guys next week on the channel. Same time, same panel, new topics. You know what it is, man. Peace.
Thank you, guys.
No problem.